Hi everyone, my name is Beatriz. I was born and raised in San Diego. I left home when I was 13 years old. I was covered in bruises. There was a lot of abuse. I told my stepsister if she wanted to come. She said no. I told my friend that and her parents found me a place. I began to work to pay my way instead of going to school. I was very grateful. I have a roof over my head. In the room, I realized that I was alone, but I remember that no one was beating me. About a year and a half later, I went back to the family that raised me. I told them that I was okay. I didn't stay. A few months later, I met my husband to be very good to me. I had my daughter when I was 17 years old and my son 5 years later. My husband got into a bad crowd. He started drinking and using marijuana. One of the times his friends came over and he wanted me to make food for them. I had only eggs. I had not went to the store. I was upset, so I told him, I only have eggs and beans. And he just turned around and in front of everybody, he hit me on my tooth. It broke. I fainted and I lived with that for a long time since I was in my 20s. The abuse didn't stop there. One day when I was pregnant, he did it again. He pulled me from my hair and hit me on my stomach. I almost had the baby, but I still stayed with him. When my son was 2 years old, he wanted to hit me again. My son, Jonathan, he was holding onto my leg, crying and crying. Suddenly, he picked up my son and tossed him against the wall. I decided I'm done. I just wanted to go. I had a family that abused me, and now I have a husband that was wonderful to me and now abusive. Then they could do all things to me, but not my children. And that's when I came here to Ventura County to look for my birth mother, and it didn't work out. My daughter was 7 years old, and my son was 5 when I became homeless again. Jessica asked, what are we going to do? I told her I don't know. She answered, God will help us. I was at the Placida. This lady came out of nowhere, and from her car, she offered me a ride to my house. It was dark, getting dark, and the kids must be hungry. I told her, no, thank you. She said, you don't have a home. And I started to cry. She told me to get into the car with my kids, took me to her house. I was scared and crying. I told the Lord to take care of me and my children. She only had 1 bedroom, but I helped her with her husband, who had just had surgery, because I was a nurse assistant. She made us a little room under her stairway, and I stayed there for a year. I married and lived very happy with my second husband for 11 years when he passed away in a car accident. One day I got hurt on the job and was unable to work. Workers' comp took more than 3 months to send anything. By then, all my bills had gone unpaid. I had to leave my home. My credit went bad. I couldn't get anywhere to rent. And my bad credit, I reached out to organizations, the Mission, 211, Salvation Army. They always said they would help me. It was one thing after another. They wouldn't call me back. They said things as the workers' comp. I was told I had to find work because workers' comp was ending. I could not look for work because I had a bad back. I couldn't do the same thing as a nurse assistant anymore. This time, I lived in my car with my adult son who was divorced. I reached out to organizations. I've always tried, doing my best. I never got the help. How do we expect that other people that are using drugs, would they have a chance to get help if I didn't even get the help? We worked. The money was used for my car, gas, and food. We would park and sleep at the rest area. I had a storage for my stuff, but lost all because I was not able to pay it. We did pay for gym so we could take showers. We use the bathroom wherever there are public bathrooms. But I wouldn't drink anything past 6 p.m. because it was not easy for me to go to the bathroom. I've never slept on the street and under the bridge, but my car is not a home. I bought an RV and lived in the unincorporated area in Ventura about a year. This was during the pandemic. We were considered homeless. We were promised help, room or apartment, nothing. Then during the holidays, they told us we've been there for a year. We had to leave. Finally, my pastor helped. He opened his home. He is now ready to sell his house. I may be in the situation again, but I know I have a good God, that He has taken care of me the whole time. When you're hurting, when you're in pain, there are people that for some reason they're hurting. Sometimes they hurt so much they can't even function. They need extra help, a little push. It doesn't have to be a psychiatrist. It could be a friend to be there for them. Right now, the Lord has put me in a position in a church where I pray for people, cook for people, and have food and clothes for them, and the homeless come there. I have a project that God has put in my heart to do, and I really want to do this for the community of the homeless. I know it's not easy. It's not easy for one person, but if anyone here in the community put their part, that little seed to help, we will get things done. But we have to help each other. That's what the Bible says. Help the poor, help the widow. The world would be a better place. I do understand that a lot of people are using drugs, and I understand that. But in my case, it wasn't. And when I need help, I never got the help. I've been put down and put down. I know my God has been there for me. He was there even as a child. Whoever wants to help with whatever you can. This is the last thing I'm going to say. There are seniors out there that don't have enough income, that are homeless. They are in a motel temporarily room for every 28 days. They have to take all their stuff out. You think how hard that is for a senior to do? They didn't deserve to be homeless. It could be your son, your daughter, your mom, your grandparents. You don't know. But we need to stand up straight and get things done to help them. Thank you, and have a blessed day, everyone.